Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry about the last video, I had a call, so it interrupted things a little bit. Picking up where we left off, an old friend. Thomas cuts himself short. You suddenly notice how much older he looks. His face is becoming sharper and rougher, and his eyes are filled with exhaustion rather than their usual mischievous sparkle. I should warn you though, John, I ain't the best company nowadays. I've managed to get myself some powerful enemies already. I'm a friend who could taint your good name, so if you'd rather not be seen with me, well, I understand. The smile on his face starts to fade. Only one relationship is available here. And that is, you have dinner with Thomas. You give Thomas your hand, you shake hands firmly. So you haven't forgotten your old friend, Brent. That's the way it ought to be. Well, come on then. Go to town, reminiscing about your childhood antics on these very streets along the way. You choose a table in the far corner of the tavern. Thomas orders a bottle of good wine and some food. You talk about your latest case, about your first years back in Anizotti. You share family news, your quest to become nobles of the sword, the quarrels between your elder brother and sister, your mother's health. Thomas nods with concern. Sounds like you've had some tough times. Your father has always been different. Mine, on the other hand, is the same as it ever was. My pa is always in the workshop, and my ma is always doing chores. But look at me. I came home a service class nobleman, although it doesn't bring me much joy anymore. Thomas is suddenly grim. You ask your friend to share his troubles with you. He quickly glances around the room and lowers his voice. Well, I'm a captain in the Magpie Legion now, and who's our commander? His Excellency Dorius Hutton. That's right, I serve under the very same Arcanian whose toes I stepped on back in Eternal. And you better believe he remembers me. I'm afraid things are going to get real bad. But hey, I figured it out somehow. Don't trouble yourself over it. Apart from that, well, it's the usual service. We impose order in uppity towns and villages, check the province, and sort things out. And we run drills all day long. Obviously, if only you knew how sick I am of them. Sick of them, John. I've thought about starting a family. My mom keeps telling me to find a nice girl to marry. She says it's high time I got hitched. It is completely dark, and you are still talking. Finally, Thomas remembers that his parents are waiting for him. You get up from the table, leaving some dirty dishes and quite a few empty bottles behind. On your way out, you catch a glimpse of a nondescript figure following you to the door. As you walk alongside Thomas through your home neighborhood, you keep glancing over your shoulder, but the shadow that was following you has disappeared. You reach your street and stop for a while, in the semi-darkness between your family homes, just as you used to all those years ago. Bye, Brent. I hardly ever come to Anizotti these days. Our battalion is always on the march all over the province. But twins willing, we'll see each other again real soon. You advise your friend to safeguard his every life. Alright, so we gotta improve reputation or things will get really bad. The gunpowder plot. You're sitting on a solitary bench in a gazebo in the Archduke's garden. Tall lanterns spread their dim glow in the cool evening air. When Gaius Tempest became the overseer of Magara, one of his first edicts granted the commoners entry to the Archduke's garden. At the time, many Megarians saw this gesture as a sign of future change. But unfortunately, the right to visit the Archduke's garden is the only new right the commoners now enjoy by the graces of the overseer Tempest. It does little to ease the burden of double taxation on the need to work mines without gunpowder. A serpentine stone-paved road leads to the gazebo. Many flower beds are nestled in the bends and coils of the elaborate path. In the distance, on the other end of the path, you finally see Sophia's silhouette. She takes a look around then steps over the low fence and walks to you through the flowers. I had trouble finding you here, Brant. Let's meet in one of the usual places next time. It isn't safe here. You agree, although you are sick and tired of the stuffy basement rooms and trash-filled ruins where you typically arrange to meet the leaders of the last straw cell rooms. Okay, let's get to it. The last straw needs gunpowder. We could really use some. If we had gunpowder, we could blow up the Emperor's statue in the Golden Square or the wall of the city armory. There's all kinds of stuff we could do. Thing is, you can't find it anymore. Even owning it is forbidden, thanks to the overseer. Megarian industry has had to swallow a bitter pill and trade their fancy new gunpowder for good old shovels. Except now, everybody got rid of it, except for us, right? That new friend of yours, Mayor Egmont, he's a resourceful fellow. He started buying gunpowder by the barrel some 20 years ago to work the mines. They still use it in the mines, but late at night so nobody finds out. There's a warehouse where they keep mountains of the stuff, Brant. We need to get our hands on it. If we can get Mayor Egmont to hand it over on his own, all the better. When he digs his heels in, we'll just pay the warehouse a visit and grab it. Done deal. What do you say? Well, it appears to me that I only have one choice. I can make a deal with Mayor Egmont, requiring manipulation, requiring the secret plot. I don't have manipulation. I could steal the gunpowder, but I don't have the scheming, and I don't have the relationships with Sophia to work that out. I could report this to Felipe, but unfortunately, I already chose to support Mayor Egmont. And then the last one, you reject the idea of gunpowder outright. You're staying out of this. Your movement will do just fine without gunpowder. You shake your head at the idea. Meddling with gunpowder sounds far too dangerous. The last straw's greatest asset is secrecy. Gunpowder means explosions, and explosions can't be kept secret. To prove your point, you remind Sophia that your goal is to keep innocent casualties to a minimum. Gunpowder never discriminates. An explosion would slay the innocent and guilty alike. Over the past few months, the last straw has been growing steadily in strength. You have enough men for any operation. Why risk it all for such a dubious opportunity? Sophia breathes in deeply, ready to make her case, but says nothing. A few moments later, she quietly exhales and sits next to you. It's pretty here, although I don't like the gardens and parks all that much. They're beautiful, but useless, just a place for aimless walking and idle chit-chat. Fits the noble way of life, I guess. I suppose you're right, Brant. That powder can go to the foot of the pillar for all I care. We'll do just fine without it. Stay here with me for a while, okay? I don't want to be here all by myself. Today is a big day for the Brant family. The day your family line started, the day when you remember all your ancestors. Tonight, everyone who bears the name Brant must descend into the family crypt to keep vigil by the tombs. This is the time to surrender yourself to your ancestors and hear their will. The entire family prepares for this event in silence. Stefan has been choosing this peril since morning, praying anxiously under his breath. All the while, the heir has a special place in the family ritual. Even Mother is planning to go with you, although Father tries to talk her out of it. Lydia, I beg of you, stay home. You are far too weak for an all-night vigil in the crypt. Gloria, would you be so kind as to stay with your mother since you cannot join us anyway? Gloria answers in a muffled voice. As you wish, Sir Robert. The late Sir Gregory would only be enraged to see Mother there. We all remember how their last encounter ended. Father nods curtly, avoiding Gloria's gaze, but at that moment your attention is drawn to a noise in the foyer. Nathan staggers through the door, stumbling over his own feet. He reeks of cheap wine and filth. I'm not, late, am I? Everyone gazes at him in consternation. Nathan almost falls into Mother's and Gloria's arms. Distressed, they fuss over him. Stefan's eyes his youngest brother coldly. I expected nothing more of you, Nathan. Why even speak of duty to your family when you can't even manage to live by the commoner's lot? Go lie down in the pantry and stay out of our sight. Father, John, it's time. Let's go. Alongside Father and Stefan, you descend into the family crypt. You cannot help but remember paying your last respects to your grandfather 9 years ago. You light the lamps. Dim, eerie flames illuminate the shrine. In the middle of it stands a magnificent stone tomb containing the long-decayed remnants of Gregor Brante. You take your place among the crypt and kneel. The all-night vigil has begun. At first, your ancestors remain silent. Each of you is left with your own thoughts. Then a low murmur passes around you. The shadow in the corner of the room deepens. Voices grow stronger. You know the ancestors of Gregor Brante, long-forgotten commoners whom you never knew, are trying to talk to you. But now a memory of them has come to life. In the darkness of the crypt, they are pleading for something, demanding it of you, calling out to you, screaming. Finally, you all hear the painfully familiar, deep, imperious voice echo from the far end of the chamber. Gregor Brante. Long time since I've seen you all. I hope you bear good tidings. All this time I've been waiting for you to fulfill my mission. Remember, as long as I am in your blood, I will give you no peace. I did not have my family ennobled just to see our line cut short. Our blood tide must join the grand flow of the empire, and then each of my descendants will inherit nobility forever and ever. But I do not see any of you before my tomb. Where are you hiding? Where is the head of our family and the man who wishes to speak to me? Where is the man who will heed my will? Father rises from his knee and makes his way toward the grandfather's stone tomb. He soars at that booming voice, but Stefan suddenly pushes him out of the way. Father takes an indignant step forward, and Father firmly bars the way. Stop it, Stefan. You are my heir, but you are not the head of this family. Father, it is not you that Sir Gregor is addressing. Earning the ability of the sword is my duty to him. He has long forsaken any hope of seeing you achieve it. You must understand that I am the one who will fulfill that duty. Stefan does not let him pass. Father breathes heavily in anger. You can all but feel the frantic beating of both their hearts resonating somewhere within you. Both your father and brother seem to have forgotten you are here too. Even the restless voices of your ancestors have grown hushed, waiting for the outcome of this conversation. I think let's side with Father more than Stefan. Let's take a look at our relationship with him. Father is +3, so we have a good relationship with him. Stefan's -1, so not a great relationship. I think maybe Stefan. Maybe I can help Stefan here, and we'll equalize the relationship between the two. You walk up to Father and gently put a hand on his shoulder. Let Stefan talk to grandfather. This is what our ancestors wishes. There is no reason to oppose him. Father lowers his head and steps to the side. Stefan approaches your grandfather's tomb, his fist clenched tight. Stefan, I have always known with the glory it would be my grandson. Sir Gregor, we are closer to becoming nobles of the sword than ever before. The overseer looks upon us with favor. Give us but a couple years, and your dream will come true. My dream, Stefan, it is the great cause of anyone who bears the name of Brante. Earning us a place in eternity is your duty to your blood, just as it is my duty to look out for you even beyond the grave. Your father's folliness have become a venerable threat, and I must help you overcome it. You still cater to those foundlings, Lydia and Gloria, risking a permanent blemish upon the Brante name, my name. You are but a step away from leading our family to shame and ruin. Stefan, you are the heir of this family. Do not take after your spineless father. Do what must be done. Cleanse our family of wickedness. Stefan is silently shivering. You have never seen your older brother like this before. He replies to his ancestor in an unsteady voice. But Gloria, I can't. Do you dare hesitate? Dead though I may be, my will lives on, and you are the embodiment of this will in the realm of the living. Stefan checks himself. I will do my duty to my family, Sir Gregor. Whatever the price, I will pay it. crypt is completely silent once more. You are alone again. You see tears glistening on Stephen's face. He suddenly clasps you in his arms. I hope you really do understand me, John. This is a burden I must bear, but I don't wish any harm to come to anyone who lives under our roof. I will find a solution that is best for all of us. When your brother holds you in his firm embrace, you hear a scornful sigh from Father. You watch as his low, hunched figure walks up the stairs. The vigil is over. Errors of youth. It has been a month since Sophia left the city on Felipe's urgent order. You have no idea where she went. Until she returns, the last straw has been laying low. You have had to tend to the print shop all by yourself. Early morning, Father Fod welcomes you to the print shop. He looks like he was asleep just a moment ago. He gets up from his makeshift bed of crates and beckons you closer with a finger. Father Fraud says, "Brant, I've got something to tell you, young man." So I made my rounds last night, so to speak. I stopped by a few flop houses, hit a few taverns and other dens of inquietude, and I met a young man we could use. Not sure if we can trust him though. His name is Gustav. He told me he comes from Eterna. He says he's on the run from the secret chancery. He insists he was with the underground there in the capital, the Lotless, they're called. They were responsible for the march of the Callers 4 years back. So Gustav tells me all the Lotless were nabbed by the secret chancery spooks after their march. He thinks the Anizoti underground could be in danger too. The trouble is, that's all he told me. He's not exactly a trusting fellow. I think one of us ought to talk to him, find out who he is and what he knows. He looks shady if you ask me, but maybe we could use him here. What do you think, young man? You thank Fod for the information. You will think about how to meet Gustav yourself. Just give me the word, young man, and I'll get up and set it up. Fod bows and stretches and walks off to the printing press. You sigh, trying to steady the furious beating of your heart. Gustav was one of your trusted agents back in Eterna. If he gets too friendly with the last straw and Anizoti, your name will come up eventually. You do not think that Gustav ever found out that the Lotless were established on Felipe's order, but still, he knows that you were deeply involved in that march. That alone might be enough for him to dismantle your cover story here in Anizoti. You need to deal with this problem as quickly as possible. So I could lure him into a trap? Don't have manipulation for that. Let's help him escape the city? Dope. Explain yourself to him. Order everyone to lie low. You alert Felipe to Gustav's presence. The secret chancery can solve this problem for you. The errors of youth. Dealing with Gustav on your own could put you and your cover story in danger. You send Felipe an urgent report. You warn him about the last surviving members of the Lotless and ask him to solve the problem for you. Then you send a warning to each of the last straw cells. Lay low, stay out of contact, and wait for a signal. For several days, you live the quiet, peaceful life of a print shop owner. Days pass. You hear nothing about Gustav or the Lotless. Your worries eventually disappear. There are no new rumors or news about the recent injustices throughout the Empire. No never-ending speeches to inspire the people to fight. No meetings in the basement. It feels strange at first. You soon grow accustomed to this serene existence. Time marches on. But these peaceful days cannot last forever. And one fine morning you receive a letter from Felipe. Your problem has been solved. Get back to work. You've lost too much time already. No more delays. Year 1140, Egmont's speech. Just a few days into the year, Mayor Egmont, chairman of the Lesser Quorum and owner of several silver mines, made a speech that caused quite a stir in the province. Though a commoner, Egmont had the gall to demand that the Megarian authorities both enforce and obey imperial law. What's the use of the imperial laws if they aren't enforced as they should be? Even today, any Enizoti nobleman who gets up on the wrong side of the bed can draw his sword and run a commoner through with impunity. These gentlemen may be our rulers, but does that mean they can defy the emperor's will? Sir Elborn has been appointed to enforce the rule of law in Magaro. How come the prefect doesn't see this? We commoners aren't trying to seize the noble lot and take over the province, but the rule of tradition is a thing of the past. This is the age of justice. We must not all be equal in its eyes, but even the nobles and clergy must obey the law. The Megarian aristocracy is furious with Egmont and demands that he be silenced, but the rich industrialist has too much money and too many connections to be dealt with so easily. You hear more and more rumors about secret societies of commoners appearing in the city, plotting against noblemen. The gentry fears that Egmont and his peers might be behind this, but they have no proof, at least for now. Father Lenart, abbot of the Temple of the Silver Tree and leader of the New Believers, supports Egmont and has spoken publicly in his favor. Father Lenart says the twins themselves entrust the noble estate with the rights to rule over the common folk, but rulers must also care for their subjects. The old faith is mistaken. No commoner should ever be forced to surrender. It is for this very reason that the imperial law exists. It is there to ease the people's suffering. May those laws be duly enforced, and may they serve all the people of the empire. Chat with the magistrate. Your heart is pounding madly in your chest. You gasp desperately for air, paralyzed by fear. Two burly young men have just pulled a sack over your head and shoved you into a carriage. Who could have done this? Are they Felipe's men? Members of the last straw? Someone else with a grudge against you? Where are they taking you? Can you even hope to survive this day? The carriage comes to a stop. They drag you out, get out on your feet, and force you to walk. You march down long hallways in complete silence. Then at last, they sit you in a chair. Get that thing off his head. I can't talk to him like that, can I? A hand wrenches the sack off your head. Light stabs you in the eye as you gasp for air. Once your eyes adjust, you see a dining table covered in years of dust. There is a noble mansion abandoned long ago. This is a noble mansion abandoned long ago. The paint is peeling, and the glazed gilt trim is cracked and faded. The once magnificent furniture is covered in rust and cobwebs. In the midst of this withered splendor, you see a man who is known to all, the magistrate of Enizoti, Sir Remy L. Vermin. I suppose you've caught your breath by now, eh, Brant? Let's have a little chat, shall we? First, the obvious. I know what you are, and I know who you work for. I know your family. I know the power to ruin. I know your family. I have the power to ruin you, and your father, and everyone else you care about. If anyone ever hears about this conversation, I will crush you before you can blink. But I didn't arrange this meeting just to threaten you. I'm prepared to offer you something's salvation. A glib smile spreads over Vermin's face. Now, let's move on to the meat of our little tete. You're in a real pickle, Brant. You will never escape Felipe's iron grip. He will continue to use you as long as you remain useful. And the moment that usefulness ends, he will deem you an obstacle and eliminate you. However, I would like to extend you an offer of protection. If you help me, I will keep you safe from Felipe and the secret chancery. I am aware of Felipe's scheme to obtain special authority from the overseer. The old dog is hungry for power, but I have enough on my plate as is. What with El Bourne's prefect and Egmont's lesser quorum. The secret chancery is supposed to safeguard imperial rule, but instead Felipe is playing a game of his own in my city. Enizoti does not need another man who treats it like a plaything for acting out his utopian fantasies. This is a disaster waiting to happen. If the secret chancery ever gets discretionary powers, no one will ever be able to stand in its way, especially commoners like you. So here's the deal, Brant. You help me rid Anizotti of the Lesser Quorum and all the other rebels and rabble-rousers. I'll save you from Felipe. I already know that Mayor Egmont and his cronies are connected to your secret network. And knowing the secret chancellery, I'm quite certain that you've made a note of Egmont's every last misdeed. Once you have enough evidence to put old Mayor behind bars or in a noose, bring me everything you got on him and others upstarts. Felipe will be left empty-handed. With Egmont out of the picture, I'll be free to disband the Lesser Quorum and rule the city in peace, and then I'll finally drive Felipe out of Anizotti. Which means you will go free. I will rule as I should, and the city of Anizotti will return to normal. No blood will be shed, there will be no more plotting, no more need to pretend. What do you say to that, Brant? So... accept the deal, refuse outright, or evade the question. I think accepting the deal is better in this case. Chance to break free from Felipe's clutches, to save the city from Secret Chancellery's ruthless rule, to return power to a man who has what it takes to restore order to Anizotti. The way things stand, it seems to be the least bad option. You will have to go against Felipe, it is the only way, but he finds out about your betrayal before the time is ripe. No one will be able to save you from him. You stand up and promise to fulfill the magistrate's request. Your underground network will give Sir L. Vermin all the dirt he needs to bring down Egmont and Anizotti's other rabble-rousers. The magistrate nods, pleased with your answer. A wise choice, Brant. My Wen will seek you out, and don't forget the first part of our little chat. We never met, this never happened. Save the reputation, so won't be completely gone. You sided with the magistrate and promised him to help in the struggle against his enemies. Brothers in misery. Alright guys, I think we'll call it here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe and comment in the description below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. I'll catch you in the next episode.